Hi guys, this is Vaporterra here. So it's been a long week for me, and I was hoping to get this done earlier than the day before playoffs began, but it's that time of year again, NBA playoffs. Woo! Alright, so first a few bit of trivia and random facts and opinions, I guess. I think we should forget about the West and East format for the playoff standings. I mean, come on. The Phoenix Suns were 48 and 34, didn't even make the playoffs, and they had the same record as the number 3 and number 4 seeds in the East, which are the Bulls and the Raptors. Well, the Raptors are 3, Bulls are 4. So, yeah, that's very messed up. Suns would have been great to see in the playoffs. Not that the Grizzlies or the the Mavericks didn't deserve their spots either, but I would have rather seen the Suns make the playoffs than the Hawks. And let's take a look at the All-Stars who didn't make the playoffs. Kevin Love from the Timberwolves, who was voted as a starter for the playoff games. Kobe Bryant, Lakers, who was obviously voted as a starter. He's usually a starter. Anthony Davis from the Pelicans, who was Bryant's replacement since Kobe Bryant was injured as he was most of the season. Carmelo Anthony from the Knicks, who was voted as a starter. And Kyrie Irving, Cavaliers, who was voted as a starter and who was the MVP of the All-Star game. So, Lakers and Knicks, they're I think with the teams they got right now, they can get better next season, so I'm not too worried about them. And I haven't heard too much about Love or Davis wanting to leave those teams. I guess they're fine with below par teams or something, or maybe I haven't heard of any rumors about them, but that could be floating around. However, Kyrie Irving, he's got to go to a better team. I'm sorry if even the thought of Irving leaving would give Cavs fans heart attacks, but he's got to move on to bigger and better things. I remember there's this, someone tweeted that it wasn't someone, it was like a ESPN or some other sports news thing on Twitter. Irving said he wanted out 5 seconds after he was drafted. Okay, that wasn't really shocking. No one wants to get drafted to the Cavs. And then the funny part was that in the same news article that I saw that tweeting, there are angry Twitter fans who were too angry to spell and called him a traitor, trading cards, not like traitor, a backstabber, or anything like that. So hopefully Kyrie Irving does leave soon, if not the very next season. If Kyrie Irving went to the Warriors, I wouldn't mind that, because I'm a Warriors fan. And let's see. The teams who made the playoffs this year but not last year, we have Raptors making their first appearance since 2008 when they lost to Orlando 4-1 in the first round. The Wizards, whose last appearance was also 2008, they lost to the Cavaliers 4-2 in the first round. The Bobcats, their last appearance was 2010, so I was still in high school when they made their last appearance, swept by Orlando in the first round. And then from the West, we have two newcomers who didn't make it last season. The Trailblazers, their first appearance since 2011, where they lost to Dallas 4-2 in the first round. And Dallas, their last appearance was 2012, so they missed last season, but they were there the year before. And the year before that, they also won the whole thing. They're the last team to beat Miami in the playoffs. And then these are the teams that missed out. So for the East, New York Knicks missed their first playoffs since 2010. The Celtics missed their first playoffs since 2007. Bucks missed their first playoffs since 2012, so that wasn't too long ago, and I'm not shocked. The Lakers lost their first playoffs since 2005, which was a long time ago, but even longer than that, the Nuggets missed their first playoffs since 2003. So yeah, everyone was shocked that the Lakers didn't make the playoffs, but what about the Nuggets? The Nuggets have been there longer than the Lakers have. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And for the active playoff streaks, for the Warriors and the Nets, this is their second playoffs in a row. For the Clippers, this is their third playoffs in a row. For the Pacers and the Grizzlies, this is their fourth playoffs in a row. For the Thunder, it's their fifth. For Chicago, and Miami, it's their sixth. For Atlanta, it's their seventh playoffs in a row. And San Antonio, they've been in the playoffs every year since 1997, so their 17th playoffs in a row. The last time the Spurs did not make the playoffs, I was like 2. No, I was 2, yeah. So that's pretty crazy. Okay, anyway, enough with all that background info and trivia and all that. Now for the main event, the predictions. First round, Pacers beat the Hawks 4-2 in 6 games. Wizards beat the Bulls in 7 games. Heat sweep the Bobcats. Nets beat the Raptors in 6 games. Spurs sweep the Mavericks. Rockets beat the Trailblazers in 6. Thunder beat the Grizzlies in 7. And Warriors beat the Clippers in 7. For the conference semifinals, I have Pacers beat the Wizards 4-2, 6 games. Heat beat the Nets 6 games. Spurs beat the Rockets in 5 games, and Thunder beat the Warriors in 5 games. For the conference finals, the Heat beat the Pacers in 6 games, and the Spurs beat the Thunder in 7 games. So I predict we'll have the rematch of last year's championship between the Heat and the Spurs. And, they still got the same stars, Heat still got LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, Ray Allen, and the other people they have. And then the Spurs still have Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, Tim Duncan, Kawhi Leonard, etc. And I believe it's going to be back and forth again. Both teams are going to get some wins, and it could very much come down to the wire. But ultimately, this time, I feel like the Spurs will win Game 7. The Spurs will take home the trophy, and they will win this year. And it would be hilarious if that happened, because I believe the big three for the Heat, Bosh, Wade, and James, they're out of contract after this season. So if they lose, they can probably disperse elsewhere, and that would make the next season a lot more interesting. But ultimately, I really do believe Spurs will, make up for the mistake they made last year. They could have closed in on Game 6, but that's not what happened. No one's going to let them forget Game 6 last year. Not their fans, not the opposing fans, and the players really shouldn't forget it. But they shouldn't let that bother them. They should let that motivate them to finish what they started and to hopefully get the trophy. And they've got what it takes. I believe they will win. So yeah, those are my predictions. We'll see how those go. I'm not entirely the best person at making predictions. I do my best, and I try to make the best educated guess from what I know, what I've seen of these teams, and what I think will happen. And yeah, I look forward to watching the playoffs. I hope you do too.